Hello guys, this is 12th Harbinger and welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to clear some misconceptions going around about Xianyun or Cloud Retainer and give you a complete guide for building our teams. I have made a detailed guide for our weapons and artifacts, do check it out. Without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Starting with the question, is Xianyun really niche? Xianyun provides huge buffs to plunge attacks along with extremely strong heals. As of making this video, I came to know that Xianyun lost the grouping from her elemental skill, which I am kinda salty about, but in turn her plunge buffs got increased. Now due to her insane plunge damage buffs, people believe that she only works with Xiao, who is currently the only character whose DPS is focused on plunge attacks, or Diluc due to his high plunge multipliers. Plunge damage are extremely strong in this game, as a result Xianyun can work with most of the characters that do plunge attacks. Gaming is a 4-star character who has a kit that works around plunge attacks, which gets insane at C6. He can potentially be a top tier carry, and with Xianyun he will make most of the 5-star DPS cry. You can choose him for free from the free 4-star selector in the next patch. Gaming guide videos are coming soon, so stay tuned. Hu-Tao can also benefit from Xianyun by incorporating a plunge attack after doing a charge attack, but it works only if you have Furina, as without Furina you don't want to see green HP on your Hu-Tao. I'm sure she will work with many other characters as well. For example, easily squashing the enemies with his big ass by dropping those huge melt plunges on them, or Yaemiko annihilating her enemies with aggravate plunges. You could also use Xianyun herself as an DPS and use her as your Xiao. If you are confused whether to pull her or not, I recommend you to wait for a few days after she is released and see how good she is for your account. Also, you may have heard many people saying that don't pull Xianyun if you have Jean, which I kind of agree, as Jean can do everything Xianyun can minus the plunge damage buff. So Jean kind of reduces Xianyun's pull value outside of plunge teams. However, Xianyun can be a small upgrade over Jean, as she can use the Thrilling and buff the attack of your DPS character. Also, many players don't have Jean yet. I have a friend who is still crying for her and coping with his Charlotte. Overall, I disagree with calling Xianyun a niche character, as she can be an animo character that can fit in many teams and replace Jean in almost every team. However, having Jean in your account does reduce her pull value, as Xianyun is only a small upgrade over Jean except for the plunge teams. Now let's move on to our team comps. Starting off, Furina and Xianyun are best friends. If you have Furina, I would highly recommend you to learn her with Xianyun, as Furina requires healers for sustainability and team buffs, and Xianyun provides strong team-wide and on-field heals like Jean, which makes her one of the best options to use with Furina. It's not like Xianyun is only good with Furina, but if you do have Furina, she is an amazing option to use. For an ideal Xianyun team, the general layout is a DPS that can benefit from the plunge damage buff like Xiao, Diluc, Gaming, Hu-Tao. These 4 are the characters that are really popular now, but I am sure there are other characters as well like Yaemiko, Klee, Risley, etc. Also, don't forget Child. He is the best character to use, as his plunge damage scaling after using his elemental skill is currently the highest in the game. And the other 2 slots can be buffers, sub-DPS characters or shielders. Furina, as I said earlier, and Bennett are the most popular characters for the buffer role, as they can fit into many teams. Buffers like Faruzan, Shenna, etc. are best in their respective niche. Zhongli is an amazing option for resistance trade and strong shield. One thing to keep in mind while using sub DPS like Yelan, Xingqiu or Beidou, their bursts require normal attacks to trigger. So you may want to avoid using them unless you use some normal attacks in your rotations. Yelan can still be a great option, as she provides damage bonus from her passive. Since you can't trigger Yelan and Xingqiu's burst with plunge attacks, this becomes a problem, as while using Pyro characters, you won't be able to use these characters for applying Hydro. So you have to use Furina, Kokomi or Mona for Hydro application. Or weave in a normal attack after doing a plunge to trigger Yelan or Xingqiu's burst and apply Hydro on the enemies. Some of our team examples are Xiao, Furina, Xianyun, Faruzan, Hu-Tao, Furina, Yelan, Xianyun, Diluc, Xingqiu, Zhongli, Xianyun, Gaming, Kokomi, Bennett, Xianyun, Gaming, Xingqiu, Bennett, Xianyun, Risley, Xiangling, Bennett, Xianyun, Xiao, C4 Jin, Faruzan, Xianyun and many more. Generally, Xianyun can be used in any team where you need an animo healer. Even if you can't benefit from the plunge damage buff, she is an amazing flex option, as she is animo as well as an healer. She replaces Jean in almost every team comp. For example, in Raiden, Furina, Yelan, Jean team, which is currently Raiden's meta team, here Xianyun is a better option than Jean, as she can buff Raiden's attack with Trailing Tails. Other than these teams, you could also use Xianyun as a DPS character. You can use Animo Damage Goblet and create Circlet on her and use her as her on-field plunge DPS. I would recommend you to use a second Animo character, preferably Faruzan, and for bonus weapons to decrease her energy requirements. Some examples of a DPS team include Xianyun, Furina, Faruzan, Bennett, Xianyun, C4 Jin, Faruzan, Zhongli, Xianyun, Fischl, Bennett, Sucrose. Do keep in mind the team examples mentioned in this video are only to give you an idea of how to build teams around her. You can be more creative with her teams. Let me know in the comments what will be your Xianyun team. Don't forget to like and share the video with people that call her niche or to help them with team building. Subscribe for more Genshin Impact content. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.